If the internet goes down in your office right now,
Mm.
does the fire alarm still work? Today, we are jumping into a deep dive on a single $170 strobe light that kind of proves how much of our physical safety is totally dependent on digital networks.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild concept when you really stop and think about it.
Right. So our mission today is to examine a very specific piece of enterprise safety tech. It's the Advanced Network Devices and AND-STROBE-KIT-1. And we really want to understand exactly how physical safety is evolving in this digital age.
It is definitely a huge shift from the old analog days.
Oh, absolutely. So, okay, let's unpack this. We are looking at a product page from a vendor called HDTV Supply, and their catalog is just, I mean, it's absolutely massive.
Oh yeah, it is completely all over the
You
place.
scroll through, and they are selling everything from these massive 160 TV sports bar matrices, all the way down to this specific emergency network strobe.
Which is such a wild pivot, right? You go from equipping a building to broadcast 100 football games at once to, well, equipping that exact same building to handle split-second emergency alerts.
Exactly. And moving from the vendor to the device itself, this isn't just a standard blinking light bulb that you twist into the ceiling. It is a solid 2-pound device that mounts directly to a standard junction box.
2 pounds is pretty hefty for a strobe light.
It is. And why does it weigh 2 pounds? Because it actually houses a tiny computer. Think of it as the physical alarm bell for a digital nervous system.
That is a really great way to put it. What's fascinating here is the underlying technology making that digital brain work. Because it functions like a tiny computer, this strobe actually features a built-in web server.
Wait, a built-in web server? Really?
Yeah, it has what the industry calls full multicast support and even SI ring detection for VoIP phone systems.
Okay, wait, hold on. Why does a single strobe light need its own web server and an Ethernet connection just to flash once per second at 15/75 candela? Like, what does SIP ring detection even mean in the context of a blinking light?
Well, think about how modern schools or offices communicate. Most of them use VoIP SO, Voice over Internet Protocol. They make phone calls over the internet instead of traditional analog phone lines.
Oh, right, sure.
So because this strobe has SIP ring detection, it can actually listen to that digital phone traffic. If a teacher dials the specific emergency extension on their internet phone, the network sends a digital signal directly to the strobe's IP address.
Wow, so it triggers the flash right there. No manual switch needed.
Exactly. There is no separate alarm wiring required at all. It just uses the data cables already in the wall.
Ah, so it's utilizing the building's existing digital infrastructure.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, why put all this processing power into the light itself? Why not just have a central computer trigger a dumb light?
It really comes down to speed and integration. Because it operates on a standard 10/10 megabits per second Ethernet interface and includes clockwise campus software, it can instantly join an existing security ecosystem.
Without complex manual wiring back to a central fire panel.
Spot on. Plus, it activates through simple contact closures.
Wait, like a physical call button?
Yes. A contact closure is basically just an analog switch. This means you could mount an old-school panic button under receptionist's desk, and when pressed, the strobe translates that physical click into a digital network alert instantly. It seamlessly bridges the physical and digital worlds.
And because this device is a literal life-saving bridge between those two worlds, there is zero room for error. You can actually see that high-stakes pressure reflected in the customer reviews on the source page.
Oh, the reviews are always the best part.
They really are. Like, there's a buyer named John M. who left a review noting that the staff was, quote, less than friendly but answered my question.
That is so telling, isn't it? If we connect this to the bigger picture in the high-stakes world of enterprise AV and physical security, priorities are completely different than standard retail.
Right. Getting precise technical answers supersedes casual pleasantries.
Exactly. Like, knowing your contractor absolutely must use an 18 to 22 AWG wire, which is the exact thickness needed to carry the data and power without failing. You need the accurate answer immediately, even if it's delivered bluntly.
I guess if my building's on fire, I don't care if the tech support guy smiled over the phone either.
Hey.
So what does this all mean? It reminds you that the hidden tech surrounding us in schools and offices is far more complex than it appears on the surface.
It is definitely doing a lot of heavy lifting behind the scenes.
Yeah, that plastic box on the wall is doing a lot of computing just to keep you safe.
Absolutely. And it leaves you with this to ponder. As simple safety mechanisms like a strobe light become fully dependent on IP addresses, software interfaces, and web servers, how much of our physical real-world safety is now entirely at the mercy of our digital network stability?